Okay, I'm going to show you how you're going to center the stitch with the bead over the center of your flower, like it's shown here. And one of the things you want to make sure when you start this row is that edge obviously is different, but in the center, that between the stitch here that's coming up with those decreases, between this center stitch and the center stitch of your flower, you have 2, 4, 6, 7 stitches. That way the pattern will work out and you're going to be in the right spot for your bead and in the right spot to make all these stitches line up properly. So I got up to this point. I need to put the yarn over back on, which is slipped off as I was trying to get the camera ready. We're going to start with our knit 3 together and knitting it through the back loop again, so that's the next 3 stitches on here. Hope this all works here. Knit 3 together, knit that same bunch of stitches through the back loop. Now this loop that you just made, the second one here, is going to be the beginning of your bind off. So you know when you bind off, you knit one, knit another stitch, and then pass the first one over, or sometimes you slip one, knit one, pass the slipped stitch over. This is the stitch you're going to pass over. You already did to it what you needed to do. You knitted it through those 3. So you're going to knit the next stitch. You're going to pass that one over. That's 1. That's 2. 3. We're getting close. 4. And 5. Voila. Here you are. In the middle, this is where you're going to put your bead on. I'm reknitting this in fingering weight for your sample here, so I'm not going to put a bead on it, but this is where you would grab your crochet hook or your floss or whatever you're using, put the bead on there. You're going to put that same stitch that you just worked with back on the needle, because you're going to knit it through the back loop in order to have a stitch available to you for the rest of the bind off and keeping this one centered. So knit it through the back loop, knit the next stitch past this one over, the one that you knit through the back loop, that you made knitting through the back loop. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, again 5 times, 5. Now you're going to knit these 2 together and pass that last stitch over, basically decreasing 3 like you did at the beginning. And here you are, nicely centered in the middle, nicely centered here. Now you're ready for yarn over, knit 1, yarn over, and your next knit 3 together and knitting through the back loop for the next flower, and you're on your way.